Hi, this is a video response to Big Baba 5037. Um, Hi, Big Baba. You talked about uh, uh, polished edge versus non-polished edge, and you asked me if uh, a, an edge that is polished, whether does it have bite into it. Okay, so I'm just making a simple video uh, with some Paracord 550 cut test, and I'll explain as I go along. I'll try to answer and help you if I can. Okay, so as you can see from my knives, this is the knife that you saw in the video. The edge is mostly not polished except for the very edge of the knife. Okay, um, so it means that I really do not care or am really good at uh, getting a high uh, section of my edge polished. It requires effort and well, I guess a certain kind of skill. But to me, it's not important. I just want my edge sharp. And usually, when I get my edge really sharp, I would just get this very natural, uh, uh, polished microbevel, if you will. Okay, so I guess that's to do with my 1000, 2000, and grit sandpaper, followed by a leather strop. Okay, and you did mention about getting a leather strop, and I would highly recommend that because this may be uh, reason number one why your knives cannot uh, cut through the 550 paracord cleanly. Okay, because leather stropping is essential, in my opinion, to finish off any convex sharpening. Okay, even for VH, I feel that ending off with stropping is essential because it really removes a lot of micro burr, if you will, when you do your stropping. Okay, and if you look at my other knives, okay, this one has more of I guess this small Sabenza has the most obvious mirror polished edge of all my knives. Okay, uh, what about the others? This is my F1. Okay, not much of a mirror polished edge on the camera, but if you examine closely, just the very micro edge of it has a mirror polish. Okay, but it's very little. Okay, and finally my A1. Okay, all great knives, the Fall Even A1 and F1, in my opinion. Also, it has very slight uh, polished edge, almost like a polished uh, micro bevel. Okay, so you can't even see it on the video, I suppose. However, uh, I will show you the sharpness uh, and bring up one point. This is the small sebenza. Okay, cleanly through the 550 paracord. Now this is the custom ptarmigan. Clean cut. I wouldn't say slice, because you mentioned in your comment box about slicing through paracord. Okay, slicing is, in my opinion, not a good test, because almost most blades, even if those that are not really sharp, can slice through. However, when we do a paracord cut test, well, for myself especially, what I want to do is I want to do a push cut. Okay, if I can push cut it through cleanly, it means that my knife is well, sharp enough for me. But usually I do not do a paracord cut test. Okay, I will just feel it with my fingers, and I I will maybe even try shaving my hair a little. Although being Asian, I do not have as much hair. So hair is precious. Okay. And okay, we'll move on to my F1. Okay, my F1 also cuts through paracord. Okay, and well, finally my A1. Okay, this is the most beefy knife the of the bunch. Okay, as you can see, thick, strong spine, 6 mm spine. Okay, and the edge is supposed to be the toughest among them all. And yes, okay, so you may wonder, well, such a thick knife and a thick edge, okay, uh, how would it do versus the paracord? Well, you might be surprised. Okay, as you can see, effortless and yet clean. So even for a knife like this, in fact, uh, it might be even slightly sharper than my Fallen Even F1. Okay, uh, yes. So these knives are all able to push cut through the Paracord 5, the 550 Paracord. Okay, so uh, in my opinion, okay, uh, mirror polish does not mean anything, okay, on its own, because there are mirror polish sections of my knife, each of my knives, as I polish them. Like for example, this tip area of my F1, but they really do not mean anything in terms of sharpness. It's just that I got it polished, that's all. Maybe by accident. Okay. Um, the sharpness really has to do with your sharpening. Um, I guess also sometimes you uh, the 2000 grit sandpaper that you mentioned, okay, does not necessarily make it sharp, because convexing is a process whereby you need to remove steel using coarser grits to finer grits. I guess you can try it again, change the angle of your convexing or reprofiling, okay, and use the coarser and especially the medium grit sandpaper to remove enough metal and at the right angles to make it already sharp before you use the finer grits like the 1000 grit and 2000 grit to finish off. I think that is what you can try. I am ranting and my train of thought is being broken all over the place. Well, just to recap, I've shown that knives, all the knives here, with very different edge edge strength, like this ptarmigan is a very weak convex. It's a weak convex edge. Even my small Sabenza, a folding knife, has a tougher edge than my ptarmigan. Okay, and then the toughest edge of all, the A1, appears to be one of the sharpest, easily push cutting through the Paracord 550, right? As we can all see. And the F1, oh, you can do it as well, right? But with I would say very slightly more effort than my A1. Okay, rather surprising. Okay, but it's still very good. Okay, so if you ask me, does a mirror polish edge mean that the knife is sharp? I would say no, because I have actually got those before, but yet it's not as sharp. Well, it has to do with the very edge of the knife. And if you talk about slicing, okay, slicing, this you got to, okay, and also for the mirror polish, you have to see whether you see, if the bevel is mirror polish, it does not mean anything. The most importantly is the very edge of the knife on a microscopic level. Okay, whether are there a lot of burrs left on the edges, okay, or is the very edge a very clean edge, okay, without serrations. Serrations will help in slicing, but in push cuts it will make it less efficient. Okay, and so lastly, I would like to go back to summarizing. If you have done all the sandpaper sharpening well, then the very last thing you can actually do, and that might actually help you to push cut easily through Paracord, is stropping. Okay, so try this and get a strop and end off with stropping, and you might find your knife very sharp finally. So thank you, Baba. Have a good day.